Hello and welcome back to part 10 in my Heaven's Feel playthrough. In the last episode we had, if I remember correct, oh no, I don't want to load this, let me load this one. Where was I? We had an interaction with Ilya, the cute one. She came over to Shiro's house. We had something happened before that, but I don't really remember. But the important stuff happened at night again. A dubious little creature came around and started mischief while Shiro and Rin had an encounter with Zoken Mato, the old guy, who is apparently after the Holy Grail for immortality and, well, a long life. He is basically somewhat 500 years old or something, and maintaining his life by swapping bodies with his bug monsters, and only his original soul remains from his original body and nothing else, and it's his shitty life, so he wants, well, the Holy Grail to solve that problem. So, and this is the morning after, well, the last day. Basically a new day. So let's start. It's morning. It's after 7 o'clock. The weather is nice outside and bright while white sunlight pours in. I get up and stretch my back. Physically, I feel well. I move my limbs easily, and there's no trace of any headache. I feel great waking up today. And if the horror of last night never happened, as if the horror of last night never happened. And Shiro got caught up in the creature's shadow and had a terrible experience. Must have just been heartburn. I sigh and think back on what happened. Even if I was reliving what happened 10 years ago, I really need to train more if I can't remember anything that happened. My memories since collapsing in the park are vague. All I remember is leaning on Saber's shoulder and being put to bed. Alright, I need to thank Saber. Where's there no sound? Oh, there's sound, just no music playing. I was kind of confused. Anyway, I get out of bed and quickly change into my school uniform. Saber seems like she's still asleep, so I'll go have breakfast. It's already 7, so I should go see if Sakura is in the living room.
Senpai.
There's the music. In the living room I find Sakura holding her school bag. Breakfast is ready. The table is neatly arranged and ready for us to start dining right away. Dinner is a little bit too early. Oh, is breakfast ready already?
はい。時間があったので、先輩とセイバーさんの分を作っておきました。
Yes, I had time, so I made enough for you and Saber too. But what about your food?
私はいいです。先に学校に行ってますから、お二人で朝食をとってください。
I'll be okay. I'm going to school first, so please enjoy your breakfast. What's wrong, Sakura? It's weird that you made breakfast, yet you aren't going to have any? Did something happen yesterday? Sounds like I was on the mark. But I can't think of anything from yesterday's events that would apply. After dinner last night, Sakura went back to her room, and that was the last time I saw her. After that, I think something happened. But the thought it gives me so much nausea that I can't remember. Oh, come to think of it, I remember talking to you and Saber about something.
私ひどいことを言っちゃったんです。先輩が倒れかけているのを見てついカッとなっちゃって。
I said something terrible. When I saw you nearly unconscious, I lost my temper. You said something to Saber?
はい。けど私にだってそんなこと言える資格なんてなかった。それなのにセイバーさんだけ悪者にしてしまったんです。
Yes, something I had no right to say. I pinned all the blame on Saber.
だから今はセイバーさんに合わせる顔がなくて、それで
So, I can't really look her in the eye right now. So that's why she's made breakfast for two and is trying to leave before she runs into Saber.
すみません先輩。あの後すぐ自分のバカさ加減に気づいてセイバーさんに謝ったんです。そしたらセイバーさん私に謝ってくるんです。私が悪いのに自分の不注意だったって。
I'm sorry. I realized how stupid I was being and apologized to her right away. And then Saber apologized to me, too. She said she was careless, even though it was all my fault. Sakura hangs her head looking ashamed. Why is it all her fault? Is it because of Zoken, does she know? Or is it something else? See. If you apologize to someone and they end up apologizing back to you, that would make you feel even worse. You are silly. Obviously you're the one most responsible for getting myself hurt. You shouldn't argue over something like that.
でも先輩、私セイバーさんに。
But Senpai, Saber didn't... It's okay. I'll just say this now. But when she knows that someone else is wrong, she doesn't back down. If you make a bad case to her, she'll get really mad at you. The fact that she apologized means that she accepted what you said. Saber might not say it, but she likes you. She values people who try their best.
けどならなおのこと今朝は遠慮します。
Yes, it's all the more reason I'm avoiding her in this morning.
セイバーさんが怒ってくれなかった分、ちゃんと自分で叱らないと調子に乗っちゃいますから。
Since Saber didn't scold me, I need to be hard on myself or else get to my head. Sakura laughs bashfully and gives me a modest bow. Looks like her mind is set on leaving for school early. If you insist, then I won't stop you. What are you going to do so early in the morning? This is cancelled.
大丈夫。道場の掃除をするだけですから。セイバーさんにあんなこと言っちゃったんですから、罰として弓道場の床を雑巾がけするんです。
It's okay. You can just clean the dojo. After what I said to Saber, it's only right that I scrub the floor as penance. Sakura bids me farewell and leaves the living room. Cleaning the dojo. It's really hard to scrub the floor in the winter, you know. She knows that as well as I do, though, which is probably why she said it. I wonder what she said to pick a fight with Saber. She thinks she has to do such an unbelievable task to make up for it.
私とさくらが喧嘩ですか？
Sakura thinks we had a fight? Huh? I mean, didn't you? She said it was her fault.
言われてみれば確かにそのように見えたかもしれませんが、しかしあれはさくらが正しいのであって口論というよりは私の不徳を注意してもらったという方が。
Hmm. It might have appeared that way, but Sakura was correct. Far from being a quarrel, it was a conversation that brought my inadequacies to light. Wow, Saber's grumbling at herself. But when it does a thing to stop her chopsticks from delivering bite after bite for food to her mouth. Oh, sorry is phrased it weirdly. I phrase it weirdly. I was curious because of how much it bothers Sakura. Just forget it.
はあ、さくらといいシロといい、昨夜から同じことを言うのですね。実は二人揃って私をからかっているのではありませんか？
Both of you keep saying the same thing. Are you perhaps teaming up on me to tease me? Or would I go out of my way just to prank you? And what would Sakura and I have to gain from that? Actually, I'm terrified of pranking Saber and being found out.
それはそうですね。では、単に二人とも互いを気遣っての行為だったわけですか。
That's true. And I suppose it's your mutual way of being considerate to me. Saber muses as ingests an omelette. It's good to be a glutton in the morning. Hmm? But I wonder what Sakura meant. She wouldn't feel that down if it was something petty. Do you mind telling me, Saber?
それは単に私のサーバントとしての力不足についてです。要約すれば、白を守りきれなかったのは私の未熟さだったと。
Well, it was simply that I was too weak of a servant. To put it briefly, I failed to protect you due to my lack of skill. I think you're doing more than plenty on that front. I just went and fainted on my own last night. You don't need to beat yourself up over it.
それはそうなのですが、とにかくさくらの忠告は正しかった。問題はそれにうなずくことのできない私自身です。
It may be true, but Sakura was right to warn me. It was wrong of me to be unwilling to listen to her.
さくらに何と言われようと私は、あなたというマスターをこれからも戦いに赴かせるのですから。
No matter what Sakura says, I'm making you, my master, fight in war. Saber looks away, uncomfortably. I mean, it's strange. Why is Saber getting so worked up over something that was already mutually agreed on?
がなく、不審に感じた住民が周囲の住宅の調査を要請したところ、
Unclear residents reporting suspicious behavior has requested that authorities investigate houses in the area. Wasn't that Casa's voice? I was kind of confused. What? Where's Casa talking? If I'm not mistaken. I think that's Casa's voice actor. News is on TV. I turned on the TV while eating, and it's showing a story about last night's events.
発見された体調不良者は30名に及び、直ちに病院に運ばれました。
30 people were found in serious condition and taken immediately to the hospital.
今月に入ってから7件目の昏睡事件ですが、診察の結果はやはり何らかの食中毒に近いと。
This marks the 7th mass coma incident this month. Medical exams suggest something akin to food poisoning. Wait, this month? Bro. This month is 7 days old. It's been a week. Oh god. I finish breakfast and get ready for school. I'm going to school to see Tosaka. I need to discuss what happened last night with her about Zokenmato and that Black Shadow.
警察では、宮山南4丁目一帯に被害が拡大したことから、何らかの薬物が散布された可能性が高いと。
Police strongly suspect that the fresh wave of victims across Myanmar South for what was caused by the spread of some drug. Myanmar South Fort Chom. What does Fort Chom mean? What? Tosaka was glaring in that direction last night. Archer said that the shadow was causing the comas. 30 unconscious people. I've experienced for myself what that was like. The caster, the shadow lurks in the dark and sucks magical energy from people around town. No, it's not more than just sucking. Asa had a gentle touch compared to that thing. She cleverly made sure to harvest energy from people in a repeatable, painless way. Like drawing blood through a syringe to use as a metaphor. This is nothing like that. Kase may have only drawn blood, but the thing I saw last night feasts on its victims. The shadow has no mind or mercy. It only cares about devouring its victims, magical energy, mind and all. Saber, I need to talk to you before I leave for school.
はい。何でしょうか、シロ。
Yes, what is it, Shiro? Saber heard what I said on the news too. What they said on the news too. She probably knows what I'm about to say, but she quietly waits for me to continue as always. It's about our direction going forward. You saw that thing last night, right?
はい。どのような幻想種にも該当しない。見たことのないものでした。
Yes. It was like nothing I've ever seen, and resembled no phantasmal species that I know of. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's our enemy. It didn't look like a master or a servant, but it deliberately targeted me and Tosaka, and it's been taking magical energy from the people around town. Then...
当面はあの影の探索を優先するということですか?
We're going to prioritize finding that shadow.
マスターともサーバントとも取れぬ。私たちには関わりのないものの相手をすると。
You want us to go after something that has nothing to do with us and ignore the other masters and servants? Saber gives me a hard stare. The goal is to obtain the Holy Grail. And I'm asking her to help me with an irrelevant objective. Of course, she'd be against it. But still, yeah, we can't leave it alone. I think it takes priority over the Holy Grey War. Saber watched me silently for a moment. The deafening silence makes me hold my breath.
まったく、そう来ると思っていました。私としては、あの影には関わりたくないのですが。
Goodness. I guess this might come to this. I'd rather not get involved with that shadow, but... Saber, are you sure about this?
いいも悪いも、私が断ったところで、シローは一人で行動するではないですか。
If I am or not, I know that you would go off on your own, even if I refused.
そうなった時、あなたを守りきれねば本末転倒です。あなたに死なれては、私はこの世にとどまれません。
In that case, it would completely defeat my purpose here. If I allow you to die, I will also be unable to remain in this era.
ですからたとえ反対であったとしても、シローの方針に従うしかないのです。
So I will go along with you, despite whatever misgivings I may have. Well, yeah, but...
それに、あなたを一人にしては、昨夜のような無茶をいつしでかすか。あれで2度目ですからね。3度目だって必ずあります。そんなことになったら、私はまた桜に謝らねばならなくなる。
Besides, it's only a matter of time before you repeat yesterday's recklessness. If I leave you alone. But it was the second time, so there's bound to be a third. I will be forced to apologize to Sakura if it happens again. And
誠に不本意ですが、サーバントは主の命に従うもの。マスターであるシロがそう判断したのなら、剣は預けます。
servant should follow its master's orders, even if I am extremely reluctant to do so. If you have made your decision, Shiro, then I will lend you my sword to your effort. Saber.
ですがシロ、あの影は尋常な相手ではない。あれに比べれば、バーサーカーとて御しやすい相手でしょう。
But Shiro, that shadow is no ordinary opponent. Even Berserker would be easier to bring down. Yeah, I felt it on my own skin. You can't really describe it as a strong or weak. It's pure misfortune. It isn't something you can beat up until it goes down.
それが分かっているのなら、私からは何もありません。
I have nothing else to add if you understand that.
ただシロ、あれの相手をするということは、最も困難な道を行くということ。それを今から胸に刻んでおいてください。
Shiro, choosing to go after is the most difficult path of all. Please keep that in mind. I mean, I'd be careful, but why would you say that? You know what what it is like, you know what it is like Archer? What? Oh, Archer is, I guess what it is.
いいえ、私もシロと同じです。あの影が何者なのかはわからない。
No, I'm in the same position as you. I have no idea what the shadow is. Saber averts her gaze. Then, as if uttering an ominous premonition, she just said,
ただ、漠然と感じたのです。あれは良くない星そのものだと。それこそ、関わったものすべてに破滅をもたらす、逃れようのない茨のような。
I just have a vague sense that it is like a star of misfortune. Like a curse that brings indescribable ruin upon all it touches. She leaves me with that.
それじゃあ、ホームルーム始めるわよ。
Time to start homeroom.
日直よろしくって相川くんは休みで相物さんも休み。じゃあ張り切って先生がやっちゃおっかな。みんな起立。
Start off. Oh, Aka was absent and so is Aimono. I guess I'll do it. Attention. Is Shinji there? It's a bit confusing. Why would he be there? Homeroom begins. Most students are absent than yesterday, and the classroom feels less lively. Not just our classroom, actually, the entire school feels muted. Usually moves homeroom along in a breezy tone, but even she doesn't look as upbeat as usual.
そういうわけで放課後の部活動は禁止ね。
And on that note, after-school club meetings are suspended.
連絡事項は以上。ちなみに1次元目の久月先生はお休みだから自習。プリントは持ってきてあげたから、みんなはこのまま教室で缶詰ってなさい。
That's all the offer announcements I have today. By the way, your first period teacher, Mr. Kuzuki, is out, so you can just self-study. I brought printouts so you can just stay in the classroom. Yeah, he's out. Indefinitely. Sadly. The room collectively celebrates and begins to move desks around with a clatter. Usually is just going to let us do our worksheets at our own pace, meaning we can do whatever we want as long as we stay in the room, but...
シロ、ちゃちゃ。
Shiro, one sec. Why is she waving me over in the hallway in such an obviously suspicious manner? Oh, what, Fujine? You're still in class.
そうなんだけどね。ほら、朝そっちに顔出せなかったでしょ。それで不安になっちゃって、シロは元気かなーって。
Yeah, but I didn't come over this morning, right? I just got worried that you might not be doing okay. Where's this coming from? What are you worried about?
それがよくわからない。虫の知らせっていうの？
I'm not really sure. Just a feeling in my bones, I guess.
昔からさ、こうチクチク来る時があったんだけど、その後って決まってシロが車にひかれたり橋から落ちたりしたの。だからシロ元気かなって。
I've always had this tingly feeling that I get something before you get hit by a car or fall off a bridge. That's why I've wanted to see you if you're okay. Well, I'm doing just fine, if anything. I'm safer now than I've ever been before. I swear.
そうなんだけどね。
Because of Saber
なん
or
て気
what?
になるんだ。
Anyway. Yeah, but I just wonder.
こう一緒に乗らなくちゃいけない電車があるのに、シロだけホームに残っちゃってバイバイって手を振ってるみたいな、そんな感じ？
The feeling like there's this train we need to get on together. But you just stay behind on the platform and waving goodbye at me or something. That's a pretty specific example, and I'm guessing you had a dream like that before you woke up today.
あ、わかっちゃった？お姉ちゃん、おかげで寝坊しちゃったんだよ。
Oh, could you tell? I overslept because of that. I'm kind of amazed. So she didn't come over because she overslept. No other reason. Okay. It's very Fujine, so I allowed. No worries. I'm the same as I always am. On the other hand, you've got dark circles around your eyes. I think it's more than just dreams making you miss sleep.
まあね。昨日も忙しくて、今日も忙しくなりそうよ。しばらく残業続きになりそうだから、シロのところには行けなくなると思う。悔しいけど、私のご飯は作らなくていいや。
Huh? Well, yeah, I was busy yesterday, and I think it's going to be busy today too. I probably have to keep pulling overtime, so I might not be coming over for a while. Sorry, but you don't have to leave any food for me. Huh?
話はそれだけ。プリントちゃんとやっときなさい。シロ、現代社会の成績悪いんだから、気合い入れないと赤点取っちゃうわよ。
I just wanted to let you know. Make sure you do your worksheets, Shiro. You have bad grades in modern society. You're going to start failing unless you put more work into it. Fujini gives me a casual wave goodbye and leaves. She didn't need food? I guess it's a load off my back. Feel a little let down and less motivated. It's a hollow feeling, like my regular life has disappeared.
そうね。エミヤ君の意見には賛成する。
Yeah, I agree with your take on it.
私もあの影は見過ごせない。どこの魔術師だか知らないけど、私の土地で好き放題やってくれてるんだから。
I can't let that shadow run around. I don't know what mage's behind it, but they've got nerve running amok on my land. Are we going to keep the truth then?
当然でしょ。あの影を排除するまで余裕ないんじゃない？お互い。
Of course. We don't have the luxury of fighting until we eliminate that shadow. The conversation wraps up smoothly. When lunch break started, I went to Tosaka's class A and brought her to the roof. Then I kicked things off by suggesting that we do something about the shadow, but Tosaka turned out to be even more determined than I am. So, what's the plan? Should we patrol together tonight or split up in search?
そうね。役割分担には賛成するわ。
Let me think. I think we should split up our roles.
あなたは夜の巡回を続けて、魔術師として怪しいと思ったところ、セイバーが怪しいって感じたところを徹底的に調べること。
You keep patrolling at night. I want you to go over any place that you find suspicious as a mage, or that stands out to Saber, with a fine-toothed comb.
で、エミヤ君がそうして表立って動いてくれてる間、私は造剣を追うから。
While you do that out in the open, I'm going to go after Zoken. Zoken Mato? What does he have to do with the shadow?
さあ、造剣もあの影を怖がってたから望み薄だとは思うけど、どこか引っかかるのよ。
No idea. I think he's a weak lead because he is scared of it too, but something about him bothers me.
まあ、あの影を抜きにしたって造剣は放っておけないでしょ。キャスターの死体を操ったり、魔術師でもない神事をけしかけてマスターにしたり、きな臭いったらありゃしない。
Plus, we still can't ignore him, even without the shadow. He's been doing all kinds of shady stuff like controlling Caster's corpse or turning Shinji into a master, even though he isn't a mage. Even a mage. Oh yeah, now that you mention it, we teamed up to deal with Caster for similar reasons. We can't just let the old man run wild now.
ええ、あの影の相手は周りをきれいに片付けてからにしましょう。もし見つけても偵察に留めておいて。あれと戦うのはもっと足場を固めてからにしないとダメよ。
Yeah, we'll deal with the shadow once we clean up the mess that's around it. Even if you find it, just observe from a distance. We shouldn't fight it until we can do that on our own terms. Okay, so you're going to do... so what are you going to do specifically? Do you know where Zoken is?
ああ、うん。居場所はわからないけど、直接魔導艇に乗り込むわ。うちは魔導家とは縁があるから、あなたより私の方が適任でしょ。
Yeah. I don't know exactly where he is now, but I can go straight to the Mato estate. Our families are connected, so I'm better off with this job than you anyway. Tosuke lays out a plan in a light-hearted tone. The details are anything but light, though. You go to the Mato's place? It's dropping straight into the enemy's home base, you know?
そうだけど、何驚いてるのよ。別に戦いに行くわけでもないし、ただ相手の陣地を調べるだけじゃない。
I know that. What are you so shocked about for? I'm not going to fight. I'm just going to scout out their camp. What? And what are you going to do if Sakun ambushes you? Zoken. I'm not letting you go there by yourself. I'm coming too, so don't be reckless.
バカ、早まってるのはそっちの方よ。
You're the reckless one, you stupid.
言ったでしょ。私は魔導と縁があるの。魔導の魔術は知っているし、造剣の力量だって昨日度で測れたわ。はっきり言って、造剣は敵じゃない。
I said that I have a connection to the Martyrs, remember? I know their magecraft and I figured out how strong Zoken was yesterday. To be clear, Zoken isn't much of an enemy.
あのローマ術師は魔力のほとんどを体の維持に当てているから、直接的な攻撃手段がないのよ。
He uses most of his magic energy just to maintain his body. And he has no direct means of attack.
そんなわけだから、造剣が直接対決してくれるならむしろ願ったりだし、シンジだってもうマスターじゃないなら無害でしょ。
In fact, if Zoken wants a straight-up fight, it would be to my advantage. Without Shinji as a master, he is hardly a threat. But sadly, I forgot to mention, Zoken has already teamed up with a new assassin. So,
古臭い魔術師同士の争いは私に任せて、エミヤ君は体で情報を稼いでちょうだい。
Leave your old-fashioned mage duels to me. You should go physically gather intel for us. I can't argue with her when she puts it like that. Tosaka is archer with her, so there's no point being overprotective. Alright, I'll let you deal with Zouken. Saber and I will look for the shadow.
ええ、よろしくね。それとエミヤくん、聞くけど、さくらはちゃんとあなたの家にいるのよね。
Okay, thanks. Also, Emiya, I wanted to ask. Sakura's really staying at your place, right? Yeah, she's been sleeping over. Why?
なんでもない。それを聞いて安心しただけよ。
No, never mind. I'm relieved to hear it. Well, Shiro wasn't really there at the house last night to see if she was there, right?
魔導艇に乗り込んだ時、何も知らないさくらがいたらやりづらいでしょ。
It would get awkward if I ran into her at the Mato house. She doesn't know anything. Oh, right. You're really considerate, Tosaka. I'm surprised.
何よ、その意外なものを見たって目は。あなたね、人のことどんな風に思ってたのよ。
Stop looking at me like that, like it's a huge shocker. What do you take me for? Well, if you have to ask, a human hurricane who arrives with a crash and leaves with a bang, I guess.
エミヤくんが何を考えようと勝手だけど。
I don't care what you think.
とにかく、マトウの問題は私が解決するから。あなたは夜までおとなしくしてなさいよね。
Anyway, I'll deal with the Mato problems. So just behave for the rest of the day. Roger that. I'll use the daytime to train with Saber. In the meantime, I stand up and head for the exit. Lunchtime is almost over, so I better get back to class. Later, Tosaka. Let's meet up here tomorrow.
ええ、お互いの成果を交換し合うってことで。
Okay. We'll tell each other what we found out.
ああ、けどエミヤくん
Oh, but Emiya? Tosaka lips curl into a smile. When she smiles like that, it never means anything good. I make a beeline for the door and a terrible feeling builds up in my stomach.
鍛錬っていうのはどうかと思うわよ。
Maybe you shouldn't spend all your time training?
時間がいっぱいあるなら他にすることあるんじゃない？
Isn't there something else you could be doing?
例えば、同じ屋根の下にいる女の子を構ってあげるとか。
Like taking better care of a girl living under the same roof? Unfortunately, I was still within attack range. What the hell are you talking about? Sakura and aren't I like that? I'm just keeping an eye on her while Shinji is acting out.
あら、私はセイバーを少しは休ませてあげなさいって言ったんだけど。意外ね。エミヤくん、女の子って言ったらサクラが一番に上がるんだ。
Oh, I was only saying that you should let Saber rest. Wow, Emiya. So Sakura comes to mind first when I mention girls, huh? She smirks. My face is beet red.
なんてね。冗談よ。さっきのお返し、気に入った？
Just kidding. Man, did you like that bit of payback? Only a nutcase would like that way you treat me. My shoulders drop. I feel as slack as a marionette with its strings cut.
そっか。エミヤくんの弱点だもんね。冗談にしてはタチが悪かったか。
So that's your weakness, Emiya. I guess that joke wasn't bad taste. You're the one with bad taste. I'm leaving.
はいはい。どうぞ先に行ってて。私はもうちょっと笑ってるから。
Sure, go ahead. I'm going to stay here and laugh a little at you. Damn it. See you tomorrow, Tosaka. I slam the door behind me and leave the roof. Damn it. She only came here to push my buttons. Did I like it? What does that even mean? In the first place, I don't even remember doing anything to her to warrant this treatment. Once school ends, I quickly start to head home. Since all after-school club activities are suspended, students crowd around the campus gate. I take a curious look around and don't see anyone who might be Tosaka. Knowing her, she must have gone straight to the Mato house.
先輩、誰か探しているんですか？
Senpai, are you trying to find someone? Nah, I was just looking around. It's not every day you see this many students leaving at the same time.
そうですね。けど、そのおかげで今日は一緒に帰れます。帰りは商店街に寄っていきますか？
Yes, but thanks to that we can go home together today. Should we be, should we do some shopping before we head back? Yeah, let's pick up some stuff for dinner. Fujine won't be coming over for a while, so let's get enough for free, you and me and Saber. After we buy groceries, we take the long way home, passing by the park. The park is empty. There aren't any kids in the playground, nor a silver-haired girl in the coat.
公園、誰もいませんね。ここ、あんまり使われていないんですか？
The park is empty. Do people not come here often? Not lately, I think. When I was a kid, there would usually be someone here during the day. But these days, it's pretty much like it's except on days off.
そうですか。なんだか寂しいですね。
I see. It feels kind of lonely. I nod in agreement and look up. The sky is tinged twilight. It's a dark red expanse with no birds in sight. It feels lonely, just like the small park. When I head back, we should take the chance to relax at home. We leave the park. Sakura agrees cheerfully and follows me with a spring in her steps. An interlude. Uh-oh. Is it from Rin's side? Yeah, probably. So, what do we see here? Nothing. The window's open, I guess. And so, Rin Tosaka arrives at her destination. The Mato residence. It's the altar of an old mage lineage that immigrated to this town 200 years ago. The family welcomed them as collaborators and gave them land, and yet these fellows are outsiders whom they have never been friends with. The Tosakas and Matos practice mutual non-aggression and have a pact that prevents them from easily involving themselves with each other. She really could not care less. The pact was broken 11 years ago, and the people who made that deal were family heads from centuries ago. For 200 years, they followed the agreement, whose reason and content are unclear. And for all that time, neither the Tosakas or the Matos have obtained their goal, the Holy Grail. Originally, the pact was only about getting the Holy Grail. That's never happened, so she had no reason to follow that musty old rule. Rin passes through the front door without ringing the doorbell. She never has been here as a guest. She's only here, is only here as a master to eliminate her enemies in the Holy Grey War.
そうなんだけどさ。
Yeah, but Rin searches the manor, looking like she's chewing something bitter. She's here for the Holy Grey War, so there's no need for her to follow the Tosaka's Martel Pact. That's what she tells herself, but she can't change who she is.
そっか。父さんの言いつけを破ったのってこれが初めてなんだ。
Oh, this is the first time I have gone against my father's instructions. She murmurs absently. It isn't particularly remarkable. She might have gone against her father's teachings, but she hasn't broken anything important. Her only regret is...
バカね。どうせ破るのならもっと早くに押しかければよかったのに。
I'm such a moron. If I was going to break the rules anyway, then I should have done that way sooner. The guilt she's been bearing towards a certain someone for the last 10 years.
リン、屋敷の間取りだが空白部分が2つある。
Rin, there are 2 blank areas in the floor plan.
どこよそれ。
ん
1階？
Where's the first floor?
2階からだ。階段にしては狭いが、おそらく地下に通じている。
It starts on the second floor. The stairs are narrow, but will probably lead underground.
オッケー。ところでアーチャー、気づいてる？
Okay. By the way, Archer, have you noticed?
当然だ。だが害はあるまい。リンが無視する限りは私も気にかけない。我々の目的はあの妖怪だからな。
Of course. But it's no threat to us. I won't concern myself with it if you don't. Our objective is that fiend, Zoken. She nods at the voice next to her and heads to the hidden passage on the second floor. Rin can't see him, but the Red Knight is at her side. She's brought him along in a case of a fight, but her servant appears to be the meticulous sort. He sketched out a mental floor plan after walking around the house just once and pointed out rooms that seemed to be missing. Rin had a vague sense of it already, but Archer has the ability to grasp the design and structure of objects. It's a specialized ability one would never expect from a knight.
前から思ってたけど、あなたのそれってアーチャーとしてどうかと思う長所よね。
I've been thinking about this for a while, but it's really weird how good you are at that, even though you're an archer.
減らず口は後だ。そら、開いたぞ。暗いから気をつけ。
Save the says for later. It's open. Be careful. It's dark inside. The conversation stops. The vault's open. Damp air wafts out from the passage leading underground. It's an unbearable, rotten odor that Archer can feel even without his material body. We're going to a bit. Rin walks down the wet stone steps. Her surroundings are greenish dark. The countless holes in the walls must be to the entombed the dead. The bodies in the stone coffins decompose and erode, leaving empty holes for their next occupants. Not so different from above-ground burials, except for one thing. The way those bodies decompose. Here it isn't the dirt that breaks the corpses down, but countless squirming insects.
ここがマト、マキリの修練所。
So this is the Mercury's training room. She murmurs, feeling dizzy. It isn't because of any feeling of repugnance nor chill. Anger is what makes her tremble, regret and vomit. This is a training room. This place is a training room. This rotten, wet room, filled with nothing but death and countless insects, is what the Martos give their successor. What does one even learn here? This chamber is only for breeding, for feeding, multiplying, and training insects. Then the martyrs must also use insects to educate, discipline, and raise their successor. Just how different is their world from here? Hers. She thinks of her stern, difficult education and of a magic crest engraved in her arm. She isn't comparing the severity to their upbringings as successors. To begin with, no one else has borne struggles and overcome obstacles like she has. Rin Tosaka has, without a doubt, faced greater challenges and adversities. Greater adversities. Sorry. That's what it means to be recognized as an average one. A mage wielding all 5 great elements and personally inducted into the Mages Association as a prodigy. She was asked to command this nest of insects. She could come up with a more efficient formula in half a year flat. Rin Tosaka could rewrite the magecraft that the martyrs of air hasn't even mastered after a decade in a mere 6 months. But this method of teaching is idiotic. She could only eat her words if you asked her whether she could put with being a plaything for these bugs. If she could put up with being a plaything for these bugs. Magical tradition that's taking place here isn't education, it's torture. It's magecraft taught directly to the body, not the brain. There must be a tradition of the Mercuries and the preference of our old mage Zoken. Meaning that whoever is chosen to be the martyr's heir undergoes endless torture.
分かってる。ここに造剣はいないわ。私が来たから逃げたのか、他に本拠地があるのか。どっちにしろこれといった手がかりもないし、長居は無用ね。
I know. Zoken isn't here. I don't know if he ran away when I got here, or if his home base is somewhere else. We don't have any leads either way, so we don't have to stay. She fights down the urge to scream and leave the room behind. The girl's footsteps fade into the distance. Later. The insects swarm around the vomit she spewed in disgust. Rin returns to the surface. Her business concluded, she heads outside when...
シンジ、そこにいるんでしょ？隠れても無駄よ。
Shinji, I know you there. Don't bother hiding. She called out the person lurking in another hidden passage in the back of a room.
遠坂、お前。
さっきまで無視して帰るつもりだったけど気が変わったわ。少し話をしましょう、マト君。
I was going to ignore you and go home, but I've changed my mind. Let's talk, Mato. Glaring hatefully at Rin, Shinji obeys. He clearly showed himself because he is afraid of her. Not because of a threat she poses as a master with a servant. He simply is intimidated by the fierce air she gives off.
ふざけんなよお前。僕は話なんてない。大体な、遠坂はマトウに口出ししない決まりだろ。何勝手にやってきてんだよ、お前は。
Don't mess with me. I have nothing to say. Besides, the Tosakas aren't supposed to interfere with the Matos. What are you even doing here?
あら、私たち同じ学校の生徒でしょ？遊びに来てもおかしくないと思うけど。
Oh, but we're schoolmates too. I don't think it's weird if I come over to hang out.
笑わせるな。 鍵を壊して入ってきて散々家を荒らしたくせに遊びに来たって。父親が死んでから礼儀も何もなくなったって聞いてたけど本当だな。頭悪いよね。いつから強盗の真似事を始めたんだい、遠坂の人間は。
Don't make me laugh. You you call breaking and entering them, then making a mess of things hanging out. I've heard you lost your manners ever since your dad died, and I guess it's true. The Tosakas must be pretty stupid if they're resorting to robbery.
そう見えた？ならそれも悪くないわね。
Is that what this looks like? That doesn't sound so bad.
盗むものなんてここにはないけど、強盗ってあれでしょ？
There's nothing here to steal, but how about some robbery?
盗みに入った時、見つかったら暴れ回るから強盗っていうのよね。
Robbery is when you manhandle anyone who run into after we break in.
ええ、それなら本当に真似をしてもいい気分よ、私。
Yeah, I think I feel like that right now. It's obviously a joke, but she isn't smiling. Rin practically pins Shinji to the wall with her icy glare.
バカ、違うぞ。僕は関係ない。造剣とは関係ない。あのジジイが何をしてるかなんて僕は今まで知らなかったんだ。
You're wrong, idiot. I have nothing to do with him. I'm not working with Zoken. I have no idea what the geezer has been up to this whole high time.
どうだか。ならなんでマスターになんてなったのよ、あんたは。
Are you sure about that? How'd you become a master then?
それはだから。
Well, He gulps. Shinji swallows whatever he's about to say, even as Rin urges him to continue. If it's about Zoken, he probably would have spilled his guts already, right away. Rin Tosaka is dangerous right now. There's no telling what she might do if he says one wrong word. This sucks. She might be so mad that she might actually try to kill him.
それは？
You what?
それは。
But he can't say it. He's as good as dead if he tells her how he became a master. Even if...
なら言ってあげる。単に魔術師の真似事をしたかっただけなのよ、あんたは。自分は落ちこぼれだから、魔術師にはなれないから、聖杯の力で魔術師になりたかった。
Then I answer for you. You're just playing copycat. You're a failure. Can't be a mage. So you're hoping to use the Holy Grail to become one.
それ以外に目的なんてない。あんたは無力な自分を隠すために、欲しくもない証を欲しがっただけの臆病者よ。
That's your only goal. You're a coward reaching for something he doesn't really want. So, just so he can hide how powerless he is. It might be completely inconsequential to anyone else.
遠坂、お前。
Tosaka, how dare you?
違う？マトウの家に生まれながら、あなたには魔術回路がなかった。けど、それはあなたのせいじゃないわ。もともとマトウの血は薄れていた。この土地に根を張った時から、探求者としてのマトウの責務は薄れていたのよ。
Am I wrong? You were born into the Mato family without any magic circuits. But that isn't your fault. The Mato bloodline thinned out long ago. Ever since you finally your family put down roots in this land, they have neglected the original pursuit.
だっていうのに、あなたはそれに固執した。
But you became obsessed with it.
特別であることが特別だなんて勘違いをして、しなくてもいいないものねだりをした。そんなことで魔術回路を得たところで魔術師にはなれないっていうのに、見苦しく自分に与えられるべきだった特権にすがったのよ。
You've got some wild idea in your head about being special, and started begging for something you don't even need. You can't become a mage even if you get magic circuits. Yet you cling to the delusion that you're entitled to them somehow.
知ったような口を叩くな。ふざけんなよ。僕が魔術師になれないだと。そんなことお前にどうしてわかるって言うんだ。
You don't know what you're talking about. Screw you. You think I can't be a mage? How do you know that?
わかるわよ。断言してもいいけど、聖杯を得たところであなたは魔術師にはなれない。
I know. I can say for a fact that you can't become a mage even if you have a holy grail.
だって才能がないもの。そのあたりがエミヤ君とは違うところ。
You just lack the talent for it, unlike Emiya.
え
Shinji's mouth falls open. He wasn't expecting the name to come up. It's well enough that Rin Tosaka is his enemy as a master. He saw that coming. But it's inconceivable that she would mention Shiro Emiya. He's just an amateur. He isn't just an unworthy mongrel, not even for a family of mages. It was frustrating enough that he summoned Saber, but why is Rin Tosaka of all people saying his name?
なんだよ。やめろよな、遠坂。なんでなんだってお前がエミヤのことなんて口にするんだよ。
What? Don't do this to me, Tosaka. Why are you bringing up Emiya?
彼があなたより強いから。それに魔術師としての素質もある。的を真珠にはないものをエミヤ四郎は持っている。
He's stronger than you, and he has the aptitude to be a mage. Shiro Emiya has what Shinji Mato doesn't.
ええ、あなたと同じようにエミヤ君にも魔術師としての才能はないわ。けど彼には魔術師としてやっていける絶対的な素質がある。それだけは他の誰にも負けない。彼が一番足りうるところよ。
Yes, like you, he lacks a magical talent. But his greatest quality is indispensable for a mage. He won't let himself lose to anyone.
一番だって。あいつが笑わせるな、遠坂。
Greatest? Him? Don't make me laugh, Tosaka.
あいつに会って僕にないものなんてない。何もないのはあいつの方だ。あいつなんてただ運よくセーバーと契約できただけの野良犬じゃないか。
He doesn't have anything I don't. He's got nothing at all. He's just a stray dog who got lucky, who made a pact with Saber. Shinji stares straight at Tosaka. His fear seems to have been replaced with his hatred of Shiro. Rin just shrugs and sighs.
そう。これだけ言ってもわからないようじゃ本当に処置なしね。少しは責任を取らせようと思ったけど、あなたにはその価値さえない。ここで見逃してあげるから、エミヤ君にやられる前に教会にでも逃げ込みなさい。
Fine. You really are hopeless if you still don't get it after I spelled it out. Thought I'd make you take some responsibility, but you're not even worth the trouble. Sorry, goddamn. I'll let you get away this time, so run along to the church before Emiya finishes you off. Rin turns away and with an irritated huff. It's declared that she's finished here. She's no longer considers Shinji an enemy and leaves the Mato house behind.
僕がエミヤに劣るだって。
I'm weaker than Emiya? He repeats the words with nothing but loathing. But Shinji is back to a wall. Can't even see the departing Rin anymore. If he rushes her, she'll kill him for sure. Even Shinji knows the undeniable difference in their power.
遠坂、お前。
Tosaka, you bitch! Bottomless resentment fills his scream.
もうしょうがないな。
Might as well. Without turning around, Rin stops and bids farewell to the boy who was the successor to the Matos.
いいわ。最後に教えてあげる。
Here's one last lesson for you.
自分以外のために先を目指す者、自己よりも他者を顧みる者、そして誰よりも自分を嫌いな者。
To aim beyond for something other than yourself, to reflect on other people more than yourself, and to despise yourself more than anyone else.
これが魔術師としての素質ってやつよ。どんなに才能があったところで、それがない者には到達できないところがある。
That's the disposition of a mage. No matter how much talent or magic circuit someone has, their heights will never reach without those qualities.
私だってそんな条件を満たしている奴がいるなんて思ってもみなかった。こればっかりは生まれつき壊れてないと持てない矛盾だから。
Even I've never thought I'd ever met anyone who fits all of those conditions. It's a contradictory personality. You wouldn't have unleashed you were born broken.
シンジ、あんたは他人を蔑むことで同時に抱かなくてもいい劣等感を抱いた典型よ。自分が好きなあまり周りを下に見たものの見下す相手が上にいるものだからつまらない劣等感にとらわれただけ。
Shinji, you're the archetype of someone who looks down on the others while nursing an inferiority complex. For no good reason. You scorn everything around you. Yet the people that consider and are superior to you. You're just trapped by this pointless sense of inferiority.
あなたの中身は空っぽよ。詰まっているように思えるのは本人だけで、正体は風船と一緒。周りの風向き次第で行き着く先なんてくるくる変わる。
You're empty inside. You're the only one who thinks you're stuck. When you're like a balloon, your destination changing whichever way the wind blows.
理解した？そんな男に魔術師なんて務まらないし、サーバントだって従わないわ。
Do you understand yet? A guy like you can't handle being mage, and no servant will obey you.
ここから先はあなたには関係のない世界よ。麻藤真司がどんなに自分をマスターだと言い張っても、あなたは絶対にマスターにはなれないんだから。
Whatever happens from here on out doesn't concern Shinji Mato. No matter how much you insist that you are a master, you'll never ever be one. The footsteps stride off. Rin leaves Shinji alone in the dark house without sparing him another glance. Shinji slides down the wall. He collapses on the ground like a puppet, with its strings cut, his face spasming in laughter.
なんだ、そうか、そういうことか。
So, that's it? His dry tongue licks up the spittle running down his shin. A dry thud echoes in the room. The boy violently slams his head into the wall so hard he might break a bone.
要するにさ、
So, what you're saying is...
あいつがいなくなればいいって言うんだろ、遠坂。
I'd be good without him around, right? A choked hollow laugh fills the air. Hey. Getting roasted by Tosaka is the worst thing, I guess. Here goes Sakura. Rock, paper. Take that. I thrust out my fist. Sakura meets it with an open palm. I played rock, while she played paper. Ugh.
やった、私の勝ちですね。
Yay, I win! I stare at my hand. Did it again. Why do I always play rock on the first round of rock, paper, scissors?
それじゃあ夕食の支度は私ということで、先輩はのんびりテレビでも見ててください。
So, I make dinner. While you can relax and watch TV. Sakura practically skips to the kitchen. Does cooking dinner by herself make her happy? Fine. You did promise that whoever wins would have to cook. I take off my apron and sit down. I don't know how it's in other households, but around here, making dinner is apparently a recreational pastime. Not that I feel that way about it, but Sakura wanted to cook by herself. I appreciate the help, of course, but as an upperclassman, I shouldn't take advantage of her. Accordingly, on days like this, when we both have free time, we come up with contests to decide who gets to make dinner. Nothing else to do. I have some tea. I make myself a cup of tea and absently sit down at the table. They is sleeping in my room, and Fujini isn't coming over because of overtime at work, or whatever. Sakura and I are the only ones here, and Sakura cheerfully standing in the kitchen. I unconsciously find myself watching her. She works at a brisk pace, looking like she's enjoying herself. I'm used to seeing her long hair and the dark red ribbon. The way she picks up utensils, the way that she firmly takes up the kitchen knife, even if it seems heavy, and sets a cabbage on the cutting board. She cuts into it with vigor. Sakura always looks nervous when she first picks up a knife, but then her motions soon becomes familiar and efficient. I space out while watching her. The sun sets, and Sakura's here, life seems to go by slowly and peacefully. I suddenly realize how precious it is. Once night falls, it's off to war again. I'm only just now beginning to appreciate how important this time is to me. Yeah, I've gotta protect Sakura. I don't know about Zouken's scheming, but I won't let him lay a hand on her. Had so many chances to interact with Sakura lately, and keep getting distracted by how she's changed. Or should I say, developed, physically? If I'm being honest, I think I'm starting to fall for her. No, it isn't quite true. I think I must have started to feel this way a while ago. I hear her gently humming in the kitchen. It's really the little things like this that are important. As I daydream, I fill my third cup of tea and watch the twilight scene. Time seems to pass in a leisurely, tender way, as if I'm getting drunk of a tea. I think that's the only time he has said it outright, that he is in love with someone. Slumber falls over the town. Guess we're going to patrol now. Even though it's just 10 PM, it feels like it's 3 in the morning. It must be because of the serial coma incidents. Night falls like a veil over town. The lights go out, and there aren't any people outside.
あの影を探し出し調査する。アーチャーのマスターも無茶を言ってくれますね。
So Archer's master unreasonably demands that we find and investigate the shadow. Yeah, we don't really have a choice, well. Are you against it, Saber?
私の考えは朝に告げた通りです。
I told you my position on it this morning.
それでシロ、何か手がかりはあるのですか？闇雲に街を巡回するのでは逆に的にされかねない。
Now, Shiro, what leads do we have? Wandering aimlessly through the town at night could prove counterproductive. Leads? I don't have any proof, but if I had to choose... I mean, the park. What really happened at the park? Ryder got beat up there or killed or whatever. In the first confrontation with Saber and with Shio and Shinji. And then last night that stuff happened with Zoken and the Shadow. What does he mean with the other park? Not the at the riverbed. Or the whatever. But I believe Ryoto Temple is the obvious one. I mean, Shiro didn't see the Shadow there, but we saw him in the interlude, I think. And where Assassin came, where Zoken was apparently also there because a lot of insects were there, I guess. So let's go to Ryoto Temple. Let's go to Ryoto Temple again. Now that I think back on it, Asa was acting weird back then, too. There might be something else to find there.
そうですね。あの山には不吉な気配が満ちています。この町で最も霊的な手が加えられているのはあの土地ですから。あの影とは別に一度調べてみる価値はある。
Yes, that mountain brims with an ominous aura. It's like the more spiritual developed region of his town. It bears investigating, regardless of a shadow. Sounds like a plan. Let's go. We head from Maria to the front door. It'll take an hour to get to Ryoto Temple if we hurry. The sooner we leave, the better, but... Saber? Saber's looking at the guest house. Her gaze is focused on the room where Sakura is sleeping.
シロ、戦いに赴く前に話があります。その、朝の続きなのですが。
Shiro, I need to speak to you before we set out. It's regarding our conversation this morning. This morning? About Sakura?
はい。さくらは自責の念が強すぎる。起きてしまったこと、犯してしまった間違いを、彼女は未来ではなく、現在で償おうとする嫌いがあります。
Yes, Sakura is too guilty to consciousness. She tends to fixate on immediately redressing her mistakes, instead of considering how to improve in them in the future. She's referring to their argument last night. Saber said that Sakura was correct, and that she shouldn't dwell on the matter further. But Sakura insisted that he was wrong, and kept apologizing to Saber, which only spurred Saber to apologize back to her. Sakura and Saber. Is Saber worried about how to interpret things differently? Or they interpret things differently? What do you mean?
さくらは自分を責めすぎるのです。過ちを正すことより悔いることを強要している。だから汚名を返上しようとするのではなく、汚名を刻みつけようとしてしまう。良くも悪くも彼女は自分を重くしている。
Blames herself too much. She cares more about regretting her actions than correcting her mistakes. So she ends up cementing her guilt instead of attempting to restore her honor. For better or worse, she is too severe on herself. Saber looks pained. It's as if the words aren't directed at Sakura, but at herself.
昨夜、私はそれを強く感じました。シローと共にいる時の彼女が特別で、普段はもっと別のものではないのかと。さくらは、あなたといる時だけ自責の念から解放されている。
I felt it keenly last night. When she is with you, she is special in a way that she isn't at other times. Only when she is with you does she see free from her guilt. So that's why Saber's worried. She thinks that Sakura needs to have more pride in herself. I see. Sakura's pretty timid. I look out for her too. Come to think of it, it isn't good to make a girl at her age constantly do house chores. Sakura said that she enjoys just being here, but she should have fun outside of her house too. Thanks for caring, Saber. I'm really happy to see you think of Sakura, even when she isn't related to the Holy Grey War.
いいえ、自責に駆られる彼女の気持ちは私にもあったものです。ですから他人事には思えなかったのでしょう。
Think nothing of it. I can be hard on myself just as she is. That is why I cannot help but relate to her, how she feels. Wait, Saber, I go with you. We head to the door together. In the night, ruled by silence, we leave the house. Taking care not to wake up Sakura. We climb over the no trespassing fence and enter the temple yard. Since our encounter with Kasta, Rio Temple is not treated as important evidence in the mass coma case and closed to the public. The air here feels the same on my skin. Still feels the same on my skin. It's uncomfortably lukewarm, the smell of ripe fruit. We're going in, Saber.
はい。シロも気をつけて。
Yes, be careful, Shiro. I know. Tell me right away if you sense danger. We pass through the yard and ascend the corridor leading to the inner temple. The hallway is dark and the wooden floor creaks with our every step. Nothing feels especially off to me. How about you, Saber?
私も同じです。ですがこの一帯が異常なのは確かです。この山に踏み入った時から私たちは異なる常識に取り込まれている。
Be the same, but I am sure that something is strange about this entire area. Since we stepped atop this mountain, we have entered a space governed by a different set of rules.
これだけ魔力が満ちていながら異常を感じないことこそが異常と言えるでしょう。
In fact, I would say that our failure to notice anything amiss, despite the normal amount of mana in the air itself, is strange. Yeah, okay. Let's see what else we can dig up. There's a pond in the back of a temple, plus several buildings. It's said that the pond was once home to a dragon. Might be able to find some clues there, since it's long been considered a holy place. We exit the corridor and head to the back of the temple. Suddenly,
シロ
Saber? Something throws me from a corridor into the central shrine. I realize that Saber did it, and I try to rush back to her side. But Saber slams the door in my face. Saber, what do you think you're doing? I pound on the door. The door feels as hard as iron. Maybe Saber used some kind of spell on it. Damn it, what the hell? Open the door, Saber! I pound and push the door, but it doesn't budge. It doesn't even give against a full body tackle. On the other side of the iron hard door.
そこで身を守っていてください、シロ。この相手は確実にあなただけを狙ってくる。
Defend yourself, Shiro. This enemy is sure to target you. What enemy? Shadow?
違います。ですがマスターにとって天敵と言えるサーバントです。申し訳ありませんが、あなたが戦場にいては守りきれない。
No, it's the worst servant a master could hope to face. I'm sorry, but I cannot guarantee your safety on this battlefield.
あのサーバント、アサシンには一騎打ちで臨まなければ先にマスターを叩かれてしまう。
That servant, assassin, prefers to kill masters first rather than duel other servants. Assassin? I didn't sense anything. No matter how strange the air in Rio de Temple feels, a servant aura is on a different level. When a servant materializes itself, it gives off an unmistakably dense aura. Even if it's hiding its aura, there's no way Saber would fail to sense it.
一撃で決着をつけます。それまでそこを離れないでください。
I'm going to end this in a single strike. Please stay there. I feel Saber moving away. Saber's footsteps are faint but firm. Maybe she's closing in on Assassin while fending off its attacks. Damn it, it better... I look around me. Pick up a Koyasaku stick. That's handy enough to be a weapon and immediately start strengthening it. B. I need to use it as a sword to cut the door open. A bad hunch. An irritation I can't quite place starts to overtake my mind. If I leave her here, if I leave Saber alone on this mountain, there's no going back. I have to hurry it up and... Lights go out. Oh, there were never any lights here to begin with. The moonlight that was illuminating the shrine is snuffed out. Something reeks. It's a door. Odor of rotting meat. A granting buzz of insect wings. Zokenato. I stare into the darkness.
飛んで火にいるとはまさにお主よな、エミヤの個性がれ。
Like a moth to the flame, Emir bread. Cackles. Somewhere out there, I feel the old mage's unmistakable fiendish aura. Saber. Take a stance with my improved weapon. Improvised weapon. Not afraid of this century-old fiend. Absent Saber, well being, is the only thing on my mind. Probably an interview from Saber's point of view against Assassin. She dashes down the corridor, chasing the skull mask. The distance between them closes from 80 meters to a mere 5. Saber is close enough to cleave her enemy in two with a single step. But the enemy knows that too. If she closes in, he throws daggers to prevent her from finishing the fight. And if she doesn't close in, that gives him a chance to retreat. The skull doesn't sprint with gale-like speed the way Saber does, but retreats with bestial agility. He slips through the narrow corridors with ease, navigating tight turns without losing speed. Does he have eyes in the back of his head? Or is his back the mask? He turns towards Saber when he faces her down. Assassin, the skull-masked servant, evades Saber's pursuit, keeping her neither too close nor too far. Like a road mirage. Sparks fly. 3 daggers are hurled without any movement, telegraphing the fight. Yet, they fail to touch Saber. Saber has some resistance to projectile attacks, just at a glance at it. Compared to Lancer, who predicts their trajectory using air currents, sound, and his opponent's hostile intent. Saber predicts the attacks using her air current sounds and her intuition. Invisible attacks are not particularly threatening to heroic spirits. They operate on a level beyond that, hitting each other with decisive attacks that may be understood but not be prevented. To continue the example, Lancer's spear is worthy to be a heroic spirit's noble phantasm. It's a weapon that pierces the heart without fail, even if its identity is known, cannot be blocked. The only way to defend against the demonic spear would be to erect a brute barrier with magic energy exceeding that of a spear. To possess luck that auspicious So auspicious, it bends with destiny, fixing effects on the spear. Fixing effect on of the spear. What should prevent Lancer from using the spear to begin with? Compared to that, Assassin's DX are easily managed. They are lethal if they strike a vital point. But the fact that they can be simply blocked makes them little different than pebbles. Assassin has thrown more than 40 dirks. Dirks? I don't know. Dirks, I think? I think it's pronounced like that. Rope Killer finally stops. Rope Killer finally stops. His ammunition exhausted. His pursuer skids to a halt as well. Her enemy, who has kept her at a distance, has suddenly stopped. She can feel the sinister aura painfully emanating from Assassin. This is no time for foolhardy charge. Do you accept your fate, Assassin? Tipper takes a slight step back, despite knowing that the best tactical choice would be to cut him down here. I must not advance any further. Her intuition, which kept her alive for so many years, would cast a warning with maximum urgency. Do not advance. Do not approach this gloom. The gloom. Indeed I have, Saber. I'm out of ammunition. And I'm prepared to die in a single stroke of your sword. Why do you not approach? Saber does not answer, but she slightly raises the tip of her sword. Points at her enemy. 7 meters separate them now. It would take her 2 steps to reach him. It's a range that requires a swordsman like Saber to advance. Furthermore, she had a hidden weapon she can only use once. For which range is not even a consideration. Assassin's black claw flutters. He does not know whether breeze string it is coming from. Stirring it is coming from. Nothing to say to me? Suit yourself. I speak as I please. Clarity of Assassin's voice belies belies his appearance. It resembled someone spearman she fought before, perhaps. Saber narrows her eyes. I'm impressed you fended them all off. I aimed them so that they will not be seen, but you saw them nonetheless. I didn't see them directly, but I can read their trajectories. I could not wield this blade if I feared the unseen. Sky chuckles in agreement. What use is throwing black painted daggers at someone who wields an invisible sword? Assassin keeps laughing, appreciating the clear difference in the true heroic spirits, calibers, and the gap in their noble phantasm's capabilities. So I was never a threat to begin with.
まっとうな英霊に太刀打ちできるはずもない。もとより我らは影に潜む。 そのような役割に選ばれる英霊など初めから存在しない。
In the end, I'm a mere assassin who cannot stand toe to toe with an upstanding heroic spirit. We lurk in the shadows. No heroic spirit exists to be chosen for such a role. What?
故に我らが役割は暗殺のみ。サーバントではなくマスターを殺すしか能のないなり損ないがアサシンなのだ。
Thus, all we can do is assassinate. The assassins are failed imitation of heroic spirits, who are only able to kill mortal masters, not servants.
さて、となると、私の標的はただ一人だけだ。
Thus, I only have one target.
理解できるかね、セイバー。私の行動は、すべて君の主を仕留めるためだけのものだと。
Do you understand now, Saber? Everything I have done has been for the sake of killing your master.
シロ、
さよう。お前の主は、我が雇い主がもてなしている。
The very same. My lord is entertaining yours.
私を引き離したところで、急がねば虫どもの餌食だぞ。
In drawing me away from him, you have left him to become worm food unless you hurry back soon. Saber's sword flashes into brilliance. Or rather, she reveals the golden radiance that it always had.
ほう。風のまじないで刀身を隠していたか。なるほど。その風圧ならばその場からでも私を立てる。わざわざ七に踏み込むこともないというわけか。
Huh. So you use a wind charm to conceal the blade. I see now. That gale force could strike me even from there. You don't need to risk yourself by closing in. The black cloak sinks down. It turns out that the prey he lured out has a ranged weapon of its own. No stratagem or calculation can help him now. If Saber means to cut him from afar, then all assassin can do is attempt to disrupt her up close.
立場が逆になったな、アサシン。この風王結界、見事踏み込んでみせるか。
Our positions are reversed, assassin. Will you meet this barrier of a Wind King?
ひどい女だ。イナゴの群れに飛び込めという。さりとて、このままでは竜の方向が放たれる。これは身体極まったか。
Wicked woman, inviting me to jump into a horde of locusts. And yet, the dragon is about to unleash its breath. What a dilemma. Or dilemma, whatever. The skull mask reaches the ground. Crouching low, he resembles a crawling spider. The vacuum vortex of compressed air is about to be unleashed on Assassin. It would be insane to face it. Does he really expect to endure the lethal tempest by crawling up to the ground on the ground?
さて、どう見てもこれで最後になろう。その前に語らせてもらおうか、セイバー。
Clearly, this will be our final exchange. Allow me to say something first, Saber.
お前は1対1ならば私に勝つと言ったな。
You claimed that you could beat me in a duel. Saber raises her sword. She won't let him stall for an escape with words. Her eyes are locked onto Assassin. Even if he attempts to spatial teleportation, she can finish him before he moves.
だからこそ私をマスターから引き離した。主を守るというその判断は正しい。
That is why you separated me from him. It was right, the right decision to protect your master. She raises her sword, as high as it will go. Now all she has to do is let it fall. Assassin sinks even lower to the floor.
だが、 そこにはお前自身を守るということが含まれていたのかな。
But how will you protect yourself, I wonder? He asks a question to that.
先を急ぐ。さらばだ、アサシン。
I must go. Goodbye, assassin. Sabers answers with her sword. The duel is decided. Like a divine dragon, the vortex of air swallows corridor and skull both, sneaking through the temple in a violent tumult. There's no blocking or dodging it. As with Lancer's spear, the only way to stop Saber's invisible air is by overcoming it with sheer magical energy. Assassin's magical energy can't even compare to Saber's. The only way he could have stopped the attack is by stopping Saber from unleashing it. But it's too late to stop the released tempest. The black cloak is sure to be cut into ribbons without a second of her within a second of a sword stroke. A vortex of death descends on him. But in the midst of that vacuum wave,
神は偉大なり。
it's great. Assassin cries out in exuberant laugh and charges. An attack aimed at her neck. As Sabers instantly parries it, the black cloak slips over her head and drops behind her.
おのれ。
With godlike speed, Saber spins to attack him, but Assassin is no longer there, having leapt out of range. At the same time, the ominous presence she's been feeling now covers the ground beneath her feet.
さて、二つほど運がなかったな、セイバー。
It seems you're unlucky on two fronts, Saber. The shadow spreads. Its muddy corruption taints her silver armor.
一つは相性。陣よけのまじないは砂漠を行く者には必須でな。私が知る唯一の魔術が風よけの皆であり。
The first is a matter of compatibility. Those who travel the desert always call upon a djinn's charm to ward off the wind. It is the only magecraft I know how to invoke. The corridor is plunged into darkness. Pale moonlight fails to illuminate the shadows. As her consciousness fades, she sees it.
アサシン。貴様は。
Assassin in you.
そうだ、セイバー。もう一つは、この場所を戦いの場に選んだことだ。ここには良くないものが住むと、お前は気づいていたはずなのだがな。
That's right, Saber. Your second misfortune was choosing this to fight here. You should have noticed what wild creature was lurking here. She can't even hear Assassin's voice. In a few more seconds, she will disappear. The shadow consumes servants. Her body screams in revulsion, even as her thoughts fade. It doesn't matter. It is a futile gesture. She spent every last drop of magic energy if that's what it takes to break out of this bind. The shadow still only covers her feet. If she fights against it at maximum output, she can break free. Even if she loses most of her magic energy, and with part of her taken away by the shadow, at least she can escape. And yet...
そうはいかん。お前はここで消えるぞ、セイバー。
No, that won't do. You will disappear here, Saber. The shadow isn't her only foe. The sky had been watching this effort play out like a spectator, but he is still a grim reaper here to bring death.
初めから。
You planned this.
1対1ならば勝てると言ったな、セイバー。そう。それが間違いだ。 お前は一人、こちらは二つ。私はただ、お前の注意を削ぐだけでよかった。
You said you would win in a duel. That's certainly true, but you are alone, while I have two more on my side. All I had to do was make you lower your guard. Shadow encroaches further. Her very existence begins to decay, starting at her feet. She's lost sensation from her toes to her thighs. Her legs become both part of this world and not part of it.
サーバントはそのあるやるに抗えん。お前が真っ当な英霊ならばなおさらだ。比較的近い私でさえ触れれば魔力を奪われる。純正であるお前では触れられただけで正気を失おう。
A servant cannot resist that ally. That's doubly true for a proper heroic spirit like you. Even a relative similar being like me will have its magic energy robbed with a touch. From one as pure as you, its mere touch is enough to lose your insanity, your sanity.
だが、それは惜しい。むざむざお前を消滅させては、私の目的は果たせない。
Still,
お前の心臓は
still,
私がもらう。
stop talking. Still, it would be a waste to have you disappear. I would fail to fulfill my goal. I will have your heart.
お前が私を
And how will you do that?
おかしいか。探検はそこをつき、私とて影には近づけぬ。その私がお前を仕留めるのは不可能だと。
Is that so strange? Do you think I have no way to kill you, just because I'm out of daggers and cannot approach the shadow? Murderous intent emanates from the skull. Assassin's magical energy, which felt feeble so far, concentrates into his right arm. His right arm is a club. A misshapen thing without even a hand. It does not function as an arm. All it can do is dumbly strike its opponent. It cannot even hold its daggers. No, it wraps. Bones bend and break. The skull's arm explodes upward like an abominable wing. What a bizarre sight. What a long, massive arm. Where another arm would end in a fist that is only his only his elbow. Bends into a grotesque forearm and hand that seems soon into its shoulder. Saber's thoughts freeze. It cannot reach her. That arm is long enough to reach her. Once it does, it is sure to gouge out her heart. Before she can even tremble, his arm flutters. The cursed arm is thrust at her like a spear. There's the sound of flesh being sliced, and a gout of fresh blood. Red liquid splashes from on the floor, and speckles of black shadow. A shrill cackle escapes the skull's mask. His outstretched arm is coated in crimson. It's deep down. It quickly retracts back towards assassin. God damn. Why is he so composed now? He goes nuts. He has lost his monstrous arm. Oh, that's why.
あの いの分際で。
Damn you! Why won't you just die? She lowers her sword. Assassin's cursed arm never reached Saber. Saber repelled the curse before it could extract a mirror image of her heart. Assassin's noble phantasm cannot defeat Saber, even if it dies in these dire straits. No. Having survived Lancer's causality reversing spear, she won't allow herself to die to such a vulgar curse. But that was the last resistance she can offer. All the power she's built up to resist the shadow was spent in this final defense. She has no strength left to struggle with, and even if she did, it would be too late. The sinister aura she felt this entire time is now emanating from her very self. The shadow devours her feet and reaches through her waist. Not even moonlight can escape its hunger, and now it has become her. It's too late to do anything. The shadow creeps upward. It clouds over the silver-clad armor swordsman vision. I'm sorry, Shiro. She gasps as if craving oxygen and sinks into the murky swamp. Hey. It's going to happen, I guess. Zoken Mato stands there, looking just as he did the night before. He looks completely intact, even after Archer cut him in two. The old mage, waiting only for death to claim him, laughs, as if the other night's events were all a dream. His methods are a mystery, but if he's truly recovered, then they must be in the realm of restoration, not just healing. You can't accomplish this just by healing a wound. It's a grand magecraft which returns a lost body from nothing to its original form. So does it mean he's immortal?
さて、そのような棒切れ一本で何をしようというのかな、小僧。
What do you expect to accomplish by swinging a stick, boy? I face down Zoken with a strengthened wooden sword. I can't get any closer to him, nor can I run away to join Saber. If Zoken is immortal, then there's nothing I can do against him with a stick.
わしを仕留めるか、サーバントの後を追うか。どちらにせよ、足を動かさねば始まるまいて。
Will you attack me, or go after your servant? Either way, nothing will happen until you move your feet. Insects squirm and chitter all around the old mage. No, not just around him. I can sense the shadows moving, blocking out the moonlight. Bugs. I know that they are, even if I can't see them. The darkness is a disgusting horde of insects. Darker than black, they fill all four corners of the shrine room, covering every wall. The room is completely overrun by the bugs steaming over the walls, and the stench of rotten meat.
どうした？何をためらう？先日わしの腹を立ってくれたのはお主たちであろう。当坂の小娘と組んでわしを始末する腹ではなかったのか？
And do you hesitate? You were the one who disemboweled me the other day. Didn't you join forces with the Tosaka girl to defeat me? The insects-wielding Zoken is clearly enjoying this. Obviously, I can't do a damn thing about the swarms of insects with a stick. Zoken only needs to give the order to drown me in the sea of bugs. No, maybe. If I run outside as fast as I can, Might be able to break out of this desperate situation. There's a lot of them, but they're just bugs. I doubt they can take out a whole human in a matter of seconds.
よいぞ。わしはいくらでも待とう。
Whatever you do, I can't wait. I can wait.
セイバーの帰還を信じて待ち続けるか、その武器でわしを仕留めるか、それとも我が虫どもを振り払い外に出るか、好きな死に方を選ぶがよい。
Will you believe in Saber? Or wait for her to return? And wait for her to return? Kill me with that weapon? Or break past my worms and run outside? The choice is yours. It sounds like he doesn't intend to let me get away. The longer we drag this staring match, the more bugs gather. Then I trust Saber and wait. Cut Zoken down. Use a command spell. Huh. I think was here the first and the second option. Tiger Dojo. And using a command spell is probably the right thing. But maybe it's the same thing as the first one because Saber seems out of commission. But maybe it hasn't happened yet. But still, I think command spell is pretty too late for her. Anyway, let me save. And I will do the dumb thing to go ahead and face off with Zoken with a stick. Cut Zoken down. It's clear that the longer I wait, the greater my disadvantage will become. That means I should escape these dire straits where I can still move. I charge in and cut the old mage down before the bugs surround me on all sides and crawl out my body. It doesn't feel like I got him. My diagonal slash slices easily through him like a tomato, and the pieces fall onto the floor. I see. You're very decisive, boy. The fallen pieces of the old mage laugh at me. The Kyosaku stick rots and crumbles in my hands. He got me. That old devil gave up his body to destroy my strength and stick. Cornered, in your passion, lost your only weapon. The young ones are always so impatient. I run. Bugs squish and crush under my feet as I move. I feel death closing in from behind. And in a desperate bid to avoid the buzzing waves of insects, I throw my shoulders against one of the dark walls leading outside. I got out. I roll out of the room, preserving my momentum. The bugs don't follow me. In my day's sprint to escape the shrine, I end up on the opposite side of a temple yard. I feel pain throughout my body. Maybe I hit something when I fell out of a building. But so what? More importantly, right now, I need to find Saber as soon as possible. A feeling of dread hangs over me. My anxiety gets worse and worse. I need to see Saber's face soon or... The water ripples. Sensing danger, I leap away from it. The moist ground lets go of my feet. But I only manage to jump back briefly. I had pain. Something feels wrong with my heels, and I look down. But They are all red. When I jumped, both of my feet fell off, like discarded shoes. Those things back there. When I escaped the shrine room, I trampled on countless bugs. I recall how my strength stick rotted away when I used it to cut Zoken's body. It stands to reason that my feet, which stepped onto those same bugs, would meet the same fate. On my hands and knees, I tried to escape with a bug of the remaining stumps of my feet.
いやいや、惜しいの小僧。判断自体は間違えていなかったのだが、実力が伴わなんだ。
So close, boy. Your decision wasn't wrong, but you lacked the power to back it up. The instinct user's voice resonates. The ground is muddy. Spiders have always lived in wet places.
さて、セイバーは手に入れた。
Now I have Saber.
残念よの。お主を生かす最後の理由もこれで消えてしもたわ。
Such a pity. You've lost the only reason for me to keep you alive. More insects I have ever seen flutter down. They nibble my flesh, burrow into my muscles, and inject me with venom hundreds of times, dissolving my bones. I'm forced to endure chilling pain worse than hell itself until my consciousness finally expires. It's been quite a while since we have been to the Tiger Dojo. I think it's the first time in this route, or is it? I think so. Oh. That's neat. Tiger Dojo.
いらっしゃい。
Welcome!
些細な選択ミスでデッドした白を救う、いつもおなじみタイガー道場です。
It's the Tiger Dojo you all know and love. Here to save Shiro from getting himself dead-ended, thanks to the slightest mistake.
今回は選択ミスによるデッドエンド。
This time you've reached a dead end because you've made the wrong choice.
小難しい説明はしないから、直前の選択肢に戻って違う行動を。
I won't get back into the details, so just go back to the last decision and pick a different.
そこ不法侵入者
Stop right there, trespassing scum! Look who's back!
嘘乗っ取りおこがましい
How dare you try to hijack this establishment?
私がいない間に何をしているか元弟子1号
What do you think you're doing the moment I step away, disciple number one?
違和感なく溶け込んだのに、あっけなく見破られた。
I thought I filled it in without missing a beat, but you saw it coming.
どの面下げてそういうこと言うかなこのブルマは
You've got some nerves, Jim Shorts.
でどういうつもりよ
What are you doing here anyway?
あなた本編が忙しいから道場には来ないんじゃなかったっけ
I thought you couldn't come to the dojo because you were busy in the main story.
これはそのちょっと予想外のパワーバランスになってきたっていうか、ほらタイが一人じゃ寂しいだろうから帰ってきたっていうか。
Well, power balance is shifting in a way I didn't really expect. Plus, I thought you'd be lonely without me.
それで
And?
もうプライド大安売り。
Oh, my pride is in shambles.
お願いするっす。もう一度弟子入りさせてほしいっす、師匠。
Please, master, let your student back into the fold.
全身全霊で断る路頭に迷えブルマッコ
Absolutely not. Go freeze out in the cold, Jim Shorts.
やったー。だからタイガってば大嫌い。
Yay, that is why I hate you, Tiger. What's going on? Did I miss something? Probably.
こうなったら力ずくだ。見てなさい。 次に来るときは問答無用で征服してやるんだから。
And I have to restore to brute force. Just you wait. Next time I conquer this place with sheer power.
わっはっは、望むところよ悪魔っ子め。
Bring it on, you little devil.
魔術なしでどこまでできるか楽しみに待つとしよう。
I'm looking forward to whatever you can pull without any magecraft. I guess we have Miss Tiger Daughters. I didn't get anything. Why did she banish Ilya? So next up we're gonna use a command spell. Should I try using a command spell? I don't think Saber would lose to Assassin. But this situation is too unfavorable. This is that old fiend we're talking here. It's too dangerous to let Saber fight alone.
ほう、不出来な殺気を上手に畳み寄ったな。何やら考えがあるようだが。
So, you have managed to rein in that clumsy bloodlust. You must be scheming something. This cackle is too condescending. It is a laugh that says, you let me try anything I want, since it's all child's play. Fine, go ahead and laugh. If command spells are supposed to respond to my wishes, then I use as many as it takes to call Saber back. Saber! Without taking my eyes off the shadows before me, I focus my will on my left hand. I give one simple order. I call Saber back to my side immediately. He notices too late. My left hand blazes with warmth, releasing its compressed magical energy in response to its master's wishes. And loses its color after a brief moment of pain. I wish it only failed. I'd like to believe that I used it wrong, because I don't know how it works.
どうやらことは済んだようじゃの。脅かしおって寿命が10年ほど縮んだぞ。
Looks like it's over. It gave me quite a fright. It must have taken 10 years of my life. His laughter gets to my ears. Grates on my ears. Far away I hear wind howling, like a death cry. My left hand throbs in pain. The back of my hand is tingling. It hurts where the command spells are, almost like bleeding there. It can't be. I feel awful dread. I feel awful dread. I feel awful dread. The pain in my left hand. The howling wind gone silent. The old insects wielding mage. Laughter filling the room with his bloodlust.
いや、紛れもない現実よ。お主もマスターならばわかろう。オノガサーバントがこの世から消滅した事実がな。
No, it's cold hard reality. If you're her master, you should be able to tell that your servant is gone from this world. My mind is paralyzed. My vision freezes. What is he talking about?
何をほけておる。セーバーは死んだ。隠したと侮ったアサシンに敗れた。そんなこともわからんのか、小僧。
What are you so shocked for? Saber is dead. She underestimated the assassin and lost to him. Is that so hard to grasp, boy? That's bullshit, right? My left hand hurts. It really hurts. But my command spells are still there. They're growing fainter by the second. Like they're about to fade, but they aren't gone yet. When Saber's still here, still has to be there, ready to come to me right now. Don't you?
ではしまいにするか。当坂の小娘はまだ使い道があるがな。お前はこれで用済みよ。小僧、セーバーともども我が聖地で死に絶えるがよい。
Let's put an end to this. Tosaka girl still has potential, but I have no further use for you. Die in my holy land, along with your servant. Bullshit. Motherfucker. Motherfucker. God damn. I run. I charge at the enemy before me, trying to shake off the pain in my left hand and the horrible dread. I step forward towards Zoken and swing the Kyosaku stick with all my strength. I aim a vertical slash from skull to groin, but something repels it, immediately sending me flying backward. My back slams into the wall. I can't breathe, like someone punched the wind out of me. My back feels numb where I hit the ball, like when you get too close to a fire. I hear bugs near my ear. The bugs coating the wall move so that they wouldn't be crushed when I hit it. Even their chittering seems to taunt me.
間に合ったか、アサシ。では小僧の始末もお主に任せよ。セーバーに比べれば楽な作業。ゆるりと楽しむがいい。
Made it back in time, assassin. I let you dispose of a boy. It should be an easy job compared to Saber. So take your time and enjoy it. Zoken disappears. In the darkness where he lurked, a white skull snickers at me. So that's the assassin servant. He's a black-robed killer with a white mask that suits Zoken well. He's going to kill me. My left hand hurts. I can barely think. My heartbeat reaches a fever pitch, realizing where these are my last moments. Assassin hurls lethal weapons at my groin, throat, heart, and stomach, and I have no way to stop them. Silver light repels the incoming attack. The blade bats aside all 4 daggers that were about to kill me. Only one person could have done that. My left hand still hurts. My command spells aren't gone yet. That means... Saber! Did you finish her, fool? Did you fail to finish her, fool? I look up. Someone appears as if to protect me from the white masked servant, but it's... Huh? Another servant in dark clothes, like assassin. Ryder? There's no doubt about it. That Shinji servant, Ryder. Why is she here to help me?
おのれ、わしに逆らうか。構わぬアサシン。邪魔をするのなら、そやつもしますせい。
You dare disobey me? Damn it. They mean nothing to me, assassin. Kill all who would stand in my way. The skull answers Zoken short. Her long hair traces through the air. Ryder wordlessly turns towards assassin. Facing the rain of daggers, he unleashes. I can't follow the daggers with my eyes. The skull mask bounces and scrambles around the cramped shrine room. As soon as I spot him on the walls, he's on the ceiling, then the floor, throwing one dagger after another. They come from every direction, without end, giving their target no chance to block or evade them all. In the blink of an eye, the volley of daggers lines the floor with a sharp forest, like a sharp forest. Ryder can't deal with that. I've seen her move when she fought Saber. Assassin's assault was probably fierce enough to keep Saber at bay. But she beat Ryder in a single blow, so Ryder has no chance. The White Skull hurls a merciless barrage of darts. But then I notice something like frustration behind his attacks. What? By the time I realize what's wrong, the difference in power is already clear. They aren't hitting her. But a single one of the dozens of daggers from the shadow even scratched Ryder. Damn you! The voice comes from the ceiling. Assassin glares hatefully at his foe. Maybe he ran out of daggers. Yeah. Damn. A gigantic snake. I don't believe it. That many daggers. Ryder evaded them all with pure speed. It's not like she's saved me, when she saved me moments earlier. She simply raced around the ground, as if to declare that she didn't even need to block the daggers to defend herself. What are you playing at, assassin? There's no need to show mercy against my grandchild servant. Hurry up and take care of this. I can't do that. She's different than before. Assassin eyes Ryder dubiously from the ceiling. Ryder is different from the servant I've witnessed before. The magical energy in her body and the sheer physical power are on a totally different level. She might not be as strong as Saber, but she's clearly superior to Assassin. How? Ryder doesn't answer. She just crouches low. Just as I realize it, the posture of a predator about to pounce on its prey. Ryder flies up at the ceiling where Assassin leaps at the ground and they cross blades. All fighters clash their daggers and land, pacing away from each other. Ryder is unharmed. Meanwhile, Assassin's shoulder is skewered by one of her daggers. Fool! Assassin attempts to pull out the dagger in his shoulder. Oh, he can. A metallic sound of chains rings out and Ryder... What? Uses her chains to boldly swing Assassin around. The skull shrieks in pain. Ryder just keeps spinning him around mercilessly, like she's swinging a ball and chain. Assassin flates through a room helplessly, crashing through walls, his arm and legs bending at wrong angles with each impact. Watch it! I duck to avoid the whirling man tornado. Can't be described as merely powerful or violent. After spinning her around as she pleases, she lets his centrifugal force carry him and let go. It's like throwing a sledgehammer. Assassin, his bones shattered, is thrown through a wall with head first. And that's why Ryder is my favorite servant. And goes flying. Skullmask's servant is tossed out into the temple yard, like a piece of trash. Bounces off the ground a few times, splattering blood everywhere, and finally rose to a stop at the mountain gate. So, wow. That was brutal. I know by now that servants don't die that easily, but he probably can't fight anymore.
愚か者が。
You fool. Zokan presence fades. Seeing the tables turning, the old man departs with harsh words for Ryder. And the bugs that were covering the corners of the room leave their master. With their master. The pain where assassins punch me in the stomach brings me back to my senses. Ryder and I are the only ones left in the shrine room. I take a deep breath while to calm myself down. After a moment, I realize that only my stomach and back are hurting. I know what that means now, even without thinking about it. I push through the dizziness and head to the corridor.
待ちなさい。一人で行動するのは危険です。
Wait, it's dangerous to go alone. Ryder doesn't seem to mean me any harm. She was really here to save me. Why did you save me? I almost finished, but I almost don't care at this point. Right now I want to... You're Shinji's servant. Why did you help me? I want to go to her. Why am I taking this detour?
あなたを死なせてはいけないと命じられています。私は主の命に従っただけです。
I was commanded not to let you die. I simply followed my master's orders. See, whatever, I don't believe it. But if that's her answer, then fine. Never mind Matt. We need to hurry. I know with one glance what I'm going to find. The corridor is silent. It's half destroyed, torn apart as if a tornado went through. One of her only impact portions on the floor, I find a red stain. It's smaller than the palm of my hand, and I don't know who the blood belongs to. But as soon as I see it, I feel my legs go weak, and I drop to my knees. I touch the red stain. The blood is dry, and it doesn't stick to my fingers. It seems to declare that she's well and truly gone.
私の役割はあなたを守ることです、シロ。
My duty is to protect you, Shiro. How many times have I heard those words? They were promising yet anxious. She always put me first. Never once did she talk about protecting herself. I scratch at the bloodstain. Saber fought and died here. That's what war is. I've known from the moment we've made our pact that people would die in this battle. I offered her my hand, with that in mind, and she took it. Saber. She was a girl smaller than me, who protected me. When I decided to go after the Black Shadow instead of her Holy Grail, she swallowed her dread and went along with my decision. And this is the result. I lost her. I'm no longer a master. I'm back to being the half-baked hero I was before. I'm all alone, with no way to fight. But I still have something to do. I need to go. I touch the bloodstain one last time. This is farewell. I lift my hand away, without a bow or a word to thank. The pain in my left hand is gone. The moment I acknowledge Saber's death and said goodbye, my command spells disappear without a trace. Command spells won't disappear just because the servant is gone. They go away when a mage is no longer qualified to be a master. Oh, so I have no idea what happened here tonight. All I know for certain is one thing. In this moment, I lost Saber and the right to be a master. I leave Ryo the temple. My stomach and back feel like big injuries, but right now I don't care about physical discomfort.
送ります。敵がいなくなったとはいえ、夜道の一人歩きは危険ですから。
I will escort you home. It's dangerous to go walk alone at night, even if an enemy is gone. Huh? I stop surprised. The way Ryder is acting is just too unexpected. I don't get it. Did your master order to do that too?
いえ、そのような命令は受けてはいません。これは私個人の感情です。ただそう思っただけですので、他意はありません。
No, I've received no such order. I'm acting on my own personal feelings. I simply thought it was the best thing to do. Right, I can believe it, but I pass on the escort. We're enemies. You don't need to go out of your way for me.
敵同士。では、あなたはまだ私たちと戦うつもりですか？セイバーを失った魔術師でもないあなたが。
Enemies? Do you still intend to fight me? Then? You, not even a mage, and without Saber? I don't answer. I still haven't said anything about fighting or forfeiting the war.
そう。わかりました。せいぜい道中気をつけなさい。
See. Very well then. Take care on the way on the way home. Ryder's long hair flutters. She heads for the mountain gate ahead of me. Even to me, she looks hopelessly defenseless from behind. Thanks. I blurt out something I forgot to say.
Eh?
She turns around, surprised. Plain, surprise plain on her face. It's embarrassing to have her look at me like that, but I have to express my gratitude.
あなたは今、何と言いました？
What did you just say? Because she'll hear me, after all. I feel uncomfortable staring at her in the eye, so I slightly avert my gaze. I said, thank you. I would have died if you didn't save me. As you can see, I have nothing to pay you back with, so it wouldn't be right unless I thanked you.
お気になさらず。私は主の命に従ったまでです。
You need not to concern yourself with it. I only followed my master's orders.
主の命が変われば、すぐにでもあなたを殺します。
The same orders could change it and tell me to kill you on a moment's notice. Ryder answers in a cold voice and disappears through the gate. Yeah, that's why I told you not to go out of your way. I walk out of the temple alone and think about why she came to save me later. It had taken an hour to go home. I only have 1 hour to get over to the fact that she should be here with me. I arrive at my house. It's way past 1 a.m. Yeah. A brief coughing fit makes me cover my mouth, and I notice a little blood on my hand. It still hurts where assassins punched me, and my back stings I hit the grower. I don't know what the internal damage is like, but my back is probably bruised. Before, I would heal from light injuries right away, but now they don't heal at all. Alright, I'm back to normal. My pact with Saber let me heal from all injuries on my own. It's gone now. Even a small wound could prove fatal.
Senpai.
Someone calls me. Sakura standing in the hallway, just past the front door. Sakura, what's wrong? It's the middle of the night. Did you wake up? Did I wake you up?
いえ、寝つけなくて夜更かししていたんです。そしたら先輩の靴がなかったからどこかに出かけたのかなって。
I'm up late because I couldn't fall asleep. I saw your shoes were gone, so I wondered if you went out. Yeah, I just went out for a walk. Alright, the lights were on when I got back. Has she been here the whole time? Sakura, were you waiting here the whole time?
いえ、そんなことないです。
No, I wasn't.
ちょっとトイレに寄っただけで、たまたま玄関にいただけですよ。
I just needed to use the bathroom and happened to pass by the entrance. She was definitely waiting for me. It's been just under 3 hours since Saber and I set out. Maybe Sakura noticed me leaving right away and waited here the entire time.
それより先輩、お茶にしませんか?
Anyway, Senpai, would you like some tea?
こんな時間ですけど、あったかいお茶を飲んでゆっくりすれば元気が出ますから。
I know it's late, but I think you feel better if you can relax with some warm tea. My eyes widen. Suddenly, Sakura's uncharacteristically forceful. I must be in a pretty bad shape if she's this worried about me. Yeah, thanks. It's good to be back. Sorry for going out without telling you. I take off my shoes and go inside. I keep a hand on my hurting stomach and head for the living room. Sakura steps in front of me.
おかえりなさい、先輩。
Welcome home, Senpai. She replies, sounding somehow relieved. Ouch. I jump up from the seat cushion my butt is on. The antiseptic drenching my back burns something fierce. It's even make a sizzling sound, making me feel like I'm being roasted over coals. It hurts, Sakura. I don't need the antiseptics. Just the wound with gauze.
ダメです。背中一面真っ赤なんですから、ちゃんと消毒しないといけません。それに、痛いのは当たり前です。こんな大怪我をして帰ってきたんですから、少しは我慢してください。
I can do it. Your back is all red. So I have to disinfect it? Of course it hurts when the injury is that bad. Just hold on a little longer. How? I wonder if she's this tough on injured people thanks to the Kyoto Club or Fujine.
先輩、他に痛むところはありますか?
Does it hurt anywhere else, Senpai? No, I only got hurt on my back and stomach. That's all.
そうですか。なら、あとはガーゼを当ててテーピングするだけですね。
Okay, then I just tape some gauze over it. Sakura wields the first aid kit with practice efficiency. Her face is stern as she works, and I don't feel I can interrupt her. Now then, if you're wondering how this happened, because I accidentally threw up the tea as soon as it hit my stomach. I planned on hiding it, but Sakura found out. Then she pouted until I confessed that I got injured, and now she's treating my wounds. Of course, she wasn't this aggressive as soon as I got home.
怪我ってお腹ですか？
Your stomach got injured? When I showed Sakura my abdomen, she blushed so furiously she couldn't even begin to render first aid. Are you sure, Sakura? I can do it myself. You don't have to make yourself do that. Plus, my back is worse.
大丈夫です。やります。やらせてください。
It's okay, I'll do it. Please, let me. She became so flustered that I was worried she would swoon before she could even treat my back.
先輩、そのお洋服脱いでください。
Senpai, please take off your shirt. I don't want to stop Sakura when she's trying so hard. And I couldn't have treated my back on my own. So with all that in mind, I took off my shirt and let her work on my back. My back is scratched all over, and for a while Sakura didn't do anything. After staring at each other for a few minutes, she gulped and announced that she'd started giving me first aid. It was 20 minutes ago, and now it's past 2 in the morning. Sakura's diligent care is almost finished.
はい、終わりました。新しいシャツを用意しましたから、こっちを着てください。
Yeah, I'm done. I've brought you new shirts, so go ahead and put it on. Oh, you finished already? Thanks, Sakura.
いえ、先輩もお疲れ様でした。
No, thanks for your patience. I put on a fresh shirt and take a deep breath. I can't do much about the bruise on my stomach, but my back pain feels a little better. I'll sleep on my stomach tonight. Hopefully it won't hurt as much tomorrow. I better go to bed then. Sorry for making you stay up so late.
いえ、そんなことはないんですけど。
No, it wasn't any trouble, but... Sakura looks down. She looks like she wants to say something, but can't. Sakura, did something happen while I was gone?
先輩、セイバーさんは帰られたんですか？
Senpai, did Saber go home? I got dizzy for a second.
セイバーさんは帰られたんですか？
Did Saber go home? Hearing it out loud from someone else finally drives the hammer home. Yeah, something urgent came up, so she had to leave. She won't be coming back. I push through the dizziness, steady my breathing, and answer calmly. Sakura has doubts, I'm sure. Saber was just here for hours ago, and she must think something happened. So I need to become calmer than anyone can and act like everything is fine. Saber was talking about you earlier tonight. She said that you're too hard on yourself and that you should lighten up.
そうですか。セイバーさんとは仲直りしたばかりだったのに、お別れを言えなかったのは残念です。
She did? We just made up, so I'm sorry that we couldn't say goodbye. I can't even nod. Saber disappeared before she could say farewell to anyone. It pains my heart so much I want to throw up. For only 6 days we worked together. For only 6 days we were partners. For only 6 days she swore to be my sword. And how did I repay her?
でもよかった。あの人が来てから、先輩、怪我してばかりだったから。これで今まで通りですね、先輩。
But I'm glad to hear that. You've just been getting hurt since she arrived. Everything can go back to normal. Huh?
そうですよね。何をしていたかは聞きませんけど、先輩はセイバーさんのために出歩いていたんでしょ？
Isn't that right? I want to ask what you have been up to, but you were going out at night for Saber, weren't you?
けどそのセイバーさんも帰ってしまったんですから、先輩が危ない目に遭うこともないじゃないですか。
Now that she's gone home, you won't have to be in danger anymore. No, Saber might be gone, but I'm still going to go on my on my nighttime walks. I wasn't going with her. I asked her to come with me. I stand up. I feel less tense now. But the first aid is finished. Now that the first aid is finished, I suddenly feel sleepy.
先輩。
Good night, Sakura. About that, I'm probably going to be out of the house from tomorrow. So make yourself at home, like always. Make sure you get enough sleep, and don't worry about me coming home late. I don't want you waiting in the entrance all night again.
はい。おやすみなさい、先輩。
Okay, good night, senpai. I can rest my body now. I didn't notice before, but I'm seriously exhausted. Just lying down on my stomach is enough to make my body and mind sleepy. Before I pass out, I stare into the dark, hardening my resolve. What defeated Saber? What am I supposed to fight? I need to get that through my head right now. The memory make my chest creak. I tremble slightly, feeling a frustration that goes beyond anger or fear. I feel like my heart is going to break. Who I have to fight? That shadow. That thing out there, indiscriminately attacking people. A black shape that even Saber and Archer were afraid of. I didn't see it happen, but I'm pretty sure of it. Saber lost to that thing. Assassin couldn't have beaten her. If anything back there could have defeated her, it had to have been that shadow. I'll defeat that thing. That beat Saber. It isn't my only enemy. I need to deal with Zoken and Assassin too. Zoken said he had no more use for me since I'm no longer a master. But as long as I fight in the Holy Grey War and pursue the shadow, Zoken is sure to appear. My body trembles. Saber isn't here anymore. Without her miraculous healing, I'm only my half-baked magecraft to protect me. I know how foolish and suicidal that is, but I've decided to fight. I'm going to be a man who does what's right. I lost Saber to do that. It's why I've been following in Kiritsuku's footsteps ever since the fire. The only choice I have is to stop this war, so that the tragedy can never happen again. And that is why. This is the last night I'm allowed to tremble like this. In the morning, once my injuries have healed, I have to become a stronger version of myself that she would be proud of. Ooh, an interlude to finish it off, I guess. From whose perspective? Sakura's. Okay. The girl returns to her bedroom. She goes to her bed with heavy steps and sits down limply.
先輩、あんな怪我をしたのに、まだ。
Senpai is hurt so badly and he's still... She doesn't know what happened. She just knows that the boy left and came back a few hours later looking haggard and covered in wounds. The blonde girl who suddenly appeared in the house a few days ago didn't return with him. From this alone, it's clear that something irrecoverable has happened. Irrevocable. The boy is hiding something. and as a result, the blonde girl didn't come back. But that doesn't matter. She doesn't care about that at all. As long as the boy is back safe, and she doesn't need to know what happened. Nothing could make her happier than Shiro Emiya coming back to her.
今日冷えるのかな。
Wait, was it this cold today? She feels a chill and touches her neck cheek. It's hot. Her whole body feels hot, and she feels like she might faint if she doesn't concentrate. It must be a cold again. It's unusual, since she doesn't unusually catch colds, but she was waiting at the door for almost 3 hours. Sluggishly, she turns off the lights. Too tired to even change out of her clothes, she collapses into bed.
大丈夫。こんなの先輩に比べたら全然だし。
It's okay. Compared to what Senpai is going through, this is nothing. Lying face down, the girl thinks back to the scene a few minutes ago. Its back looked like someone worked it over with a cheese grater. The stomach was bruised black and struck by a heavy blunt weapon. He had to have been wounded by in both body and spirit, yet his gaze was so clear as day. The moment she remembers, she feels her body temperature rise. She pretends not to notice that it's hatred she feels, not excitement.
誰があんな。
Who did that? Yes, she can't forgive whoever hurt him this badly. This goes beyond momentary feeling, like hatred or disapproval. He's always been deeply hurt, and yet he's always stayed here with her, so pristine. He's someone so different from her, yet so precious. So she can abide the fact that someone hurt him. She can't abide the fact that someone hurt him.
けど先輩の背中すごかったな。
But Senpai's back was amazing. She absently reaches out with her hand. It's been a long time since she saw his bare skin up close. When we first met, he was small for a boy, and not much taller than her. But for the last 2 years he has rapidly become a man. It wasn't like before, when he collapsed from a cold. It was only a common cold. Tonight, he was a wounded man.
先輩。
Her mind goes blank as she remembers. When he exposed his chest, she was surprised by how masculine he was, covered with muscle, trained every day, without rest, and not a gram of excess. If she had to compare his lift body to that of an animal, he would be a wild goat. Small and beautiful, yet with a hidden strength to scale sheer cliffs.
胸だって広かったしすごく男の人だった。
Yeah, and his chest was broad, so manly. Her outstretched fingers trace the line of a chest that isn't there. Unconsciously, they run up his body line like water drops, from his chest to his neck. The fingers glide across sheets, across the sheets, from his neck to his lips. The face goes bright red. I'm so stupid. In a panic, she tucks away her arms in. The girl rolls into a ball on her bed, her ears turning just as red as her face. It shouldn't be this embarrassing, but the memory of his touch, is just too fresh. The sensation of his skin on her fingertips just makes her imagine that much more vivid. Much more vivid. She clenches her hands tightly. She brings her face and hands in, trying to ball up the warmth heating her body. She can't think of anything else. She clutches her hands to her chest, touching close to the residual sensation in fingertips. She endures the heat boiling up through her body. She won't be able to hold on if she lets it out. If that happens, she won't even be able to think of this one thing she's clinging to. I'm sorry. She's haunted by confusion and guilt towards the boy. His injured body, just the thought of the bloody marks on his back, make her dizzy. The girl will never come home again. What she took from him, all the lies. Dark emotions she would normally never even entertain twist inside her, awakening a feeling of delight deep within. Senpai, She calls out to him to try to bury the feelings. How long can she keep them down? She hugs her chest so tightly it contorts. Thoughts bubble up within her bosom. Only thing making her this happy, this relieved, is that the boy came here home to her. It's all I want, but Senpai, you... It isn't enough. She knows that now. He takes such good care of me. But he's trying to protect me by pushing me away. No, we can't have that, Senpai. I want to be by your side. She sways her thoughts aloud. She says her thoughts out loud. She knows how greedy she sounds. But because it's a desire that shouldn't be voiced, a wish that can't come true. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Senpai. She mourns her repentance. How vile she is for delighting in his injuries. How decadent she is for wanting to waste his efforts to protect her. It feels like a betrayal for someone like her to want to be with him. So she apologizes. Her repentance and contrition quench her fever. She curls up in bed, damp with sweat. The guilt once had awakened a fever that was somehow like arousal. Even though her fever has cooled, she feels troubled by a heavy agony. His wounded body. He's still going to fight, even after going through that. What should I do, Senpai? You're going to get hurt even worse now. She frets, covered in sweat. It's a worry she doesn't even have an answer for, and a problem she can't solve. She could think all night and still not come up with a way to stop the boy. Except... Oh, can just stop him from going outside. With a relieved sigh, she arrives at an utterly simple answer. The girl breaks into a smile. For someone who just had a divine revelation, feeling deep relief.
歩けなくなるくらいの怪我をしちゃえば、もう危ない目に遭うことはないですよね、先輩。
Yeah, if I hurt you so you can't walk anymore, then you won't get into any danger, senpai. She murmurs as if addressing someone. It's going woozy. God damn. Another interlude? Why? What? Who's it now? Who's calling? Hero or what? The room smells of stone. It is by natural, not man-made light. Flickering lamplight illuminates the man's back and highlights the parchment in his hand.
教会とやらへの報告書か。お前も忙しい男だな、ことみね。
Are you sending a report to that association of yours? You're a busy man, Kotomine. The man's voice comes from behind. Its source unclear. It addresses a man sitting in a chair, who begins his second task without showing a hint of surprise.
例の簒奪者についてだな。
About the usurpers, I see.
どれ？被害者はすでに57人。うち死亡者は5名ときたか。監督役として、これは多い方なのか、ことみね。
Let's see here. 57 casualties so far, including 5 deaths. Would you consider that a high number, as the overseer?
この段階では何とも言え。これほど大規模な意識不明事件は初めてだが、それでとどまるのなら問題はない。どちらの教会もこの程度の後処理は承知の上だ。
It's still unremarkable at this stage. This is the first mass coma incident on such a large scale, but it's no problem if it stops here. Both organizations are prepared to cover up something on this level. However,
それも今のままのペースならか。どこの誰だか知らんが派手にやってくれる。
it's only true if it keeps to that current pace, at the current pace, yes? Huh. Someone's out there is being very bold.
気づいているのか、ことみね。このまま放っておけば、この町は無人になるぞ。
Have you realized it yet? If you leave this be, the town will soon be uninhabited. Kochimine doesn't answer. He's well aware of what the young man behind him is saying. The pneumatic shadow that appeared in town. So far it's only drained life energy, but the quantity increases by the day. The number of bizarrely drained victims that began to appear 2 days ago has exceeded expectations in only a matter of days. So far it leaves the victims only in respiratory distress, but soon, not even a healthy adult male will be able to survive the night.
だがその心配は無用だ。素人ではあるまいし、再現を知らぬというわけでもあるまい。
Still, there's no need to worry. There are no amateurs, so they should know their limits.
そうかな。あの虫使いはそうでもなさそうだが、あの手の輩は早めに潰さねばたたるぞ。俺とて、おめおめと町の人間を殺されるのは性に合わぬ。
I wonder about that. It may not be true for the insect user. That type causes trouble if they aren't crushed quickly. I find this shameless slaughter of townspeople repulsive. That statement comes as a surprise to Kochimine. This man has no need for any other than himself. So why does he care about the people of Hiyuki?
驚いたな。どういう風の吹き回しだ、ギルガメッシュ。
What a surprise! His hell frozen over, Gilgamesh.
驚くことはあるまい。俺は俺以外の者が人を殺めることを良しとはせん。人が人をほふらばつまらぬ財閥で迷おう。その手の苦しみは楽しくもないからな。
There's nothing to be shocked about. I do not approve of anyone other than myself taking human life. When people kill each other, it makes for boring crime and punishment. There's nothing to enjoy about such suffering, and so they lose their way.
なるほど。お前はお前でやはり英霊だな。
I see. A heroic spirit, after all.
生の苦より救うために死を使う。ならば、お前の望みはやはり死か。
You grant death to save him from the pain of life. So, do you desire death after all?
当然だ。ここは無意味で無価値なものばかりだからな。一掃するのが正義というものだろう。
Naturally. This era is filled with meaningless and worthless people. It's only right to purge them all. His scornful voice brims with absolute confidence and majesty. The priest continues working without pause as he listens.
なるほど。
I see what you mean.
そう望むのなら、聖杯はお前が使うがいい。お前を打倒する者が現れない限り、聖杯はお前のものだ。
You should use the Holy Grail, if that is your wish. As long as no one appears to defeat you, then it belongs to you.
ことみね、お前には望みがないのか。
Don't you have a wish, Kotomine?
明確な願いなどない。私にあるものは、明確な快楽を欲する己のみだ。
Nothing so specific as that. All I have is a desire for clear pleasure.
そうか。お前には快楽のみか。
Indeed. You desire pleasure? The young man laughs at the straightforward answer. A deep chuckle erupts from him, like he's proud of his partner.
良いぞ。俺はおぞましいから殺し、お前は楽しいから殺す。理由は違えど、聖杯に求めるものは同じ。なればこそ、俺をここまでつなぎ止めたというわけだな。
Very well. I kill because they disgust me, while you kill because they entertain you. Our reasons may be different, but we seek the same grail. That is why you have my patronage. The priest doesn't answer. He merely fulfills his duty dispassionately.
お前が動かぬのならばそれでもよい。せいぜい好きにさせてもらうぞ。
You may choose not to act as well. Do as you please. The young man's presence disappears. The storm room returns to silence, and the priest glances at the entrance.
酔っているように見えて、真は正気のままか。あの泥もあれの魂までは汚染できなかったと見える。
Seems drunk, but it's same to the core. Even that mud failed to corrupt his soul. Gilgamesh, the king of heroes, the golden servant, is the most powerful being in play right now. This is acknowledged by all, and Kotomine the game master does not doubt it. But
無価値なものはあるが、無意味なものなどない。
some things are worthless, but nothing is without meaning.
注意するのだな、英雄を。お前に敗北を与えるものがあるとすれば、それはその一点のみだろう。
Be careful, king of heroes. If anything could make you taste defeat, it would be thanks to that single point. No one hears his muttering. Lit by the red glow of a priest resembles an oracle gazing into the future. Well, and that is the day. 3 hours on the recording seems fitting. And what a day it was. Quite a lot has happened. Well, Saber died. You can look at the next title of the next day here. Rain. Oh, that doesn't sound good. So, Saber was defeated. The Shadow absorbed her or took her magical energy. Ryder is back in play. Stronger. Zoken and Assassin were doing mischief. And Gilgamesh and Kotomina back in also in the play. And it seems like Gilgamesh wants to go after the Shadow also. Or the incident with Mass Coma. So, I hope you enjoyed it. It's been me, Shokimo, and I will see you in the next episode where things will continue and get even more excited. I had really fun this episode. I like this route because, well, Sakura and Ryder don't get a lot of screen time in the other routes, especially in, well, Unlimited Blade Works, where Ryder is just gone. And, well, Sakura is not really in the other routes, only at the beginning. So, anyway, once again, bye bye. I'll see you next time.